Hi, my name is Isha Jain, and I'm a senior at Oakton High School in Fairfax, Virginia. Today, I will be interviewing Ms. Kavita Gupta, a prominent fintech personality. Ms. Kavita Gupta is a founder of Delta Blockchain Fund and FintechTV and teaches Beyond Bitcoin class at Stanford University. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Isha, for having me.
So one of the first things I wanted to talk about is like I personally have been spending a lot of time looking at cash-based economy versus a fintech economy. And I wanted to know how that is going to help developing like emerging markets. And before people ask, like what even is fintech for those who don't know?
Yeah, it's a funny question, right? Because fintech for people in US and UK could be just using a Revolut app or like using Cash App and Venmo. Peer-to-peer lending is your fintech. Making your payments to your bank saving account or getting your payroll system, or for students like buying using an app to pay for your um, for something you buy at school is fintech, right? But I think something which you referred is the core of it, which is an emerging market. Fintech could be the way in which you can actually even get money without losing your money to middlemen, right? Or using or getting your cash robbed. So fintech, the way I define, is a technology which enables an individual to have, in a very verified way, receive, send, share an economy, or payroll or money. And I think the first biggest example of fintech, if I remember it correctly, has been M-Pesa out of Kenya, which allows peer-to-peer transaction in a region where carrying cash was not safe and having ATM was not safe. And so how do you have on the tip of your phone able to pay money even in a small quantity, to buy small quantity or to pay money to somebody else or receive money as a payroll without having to carry cash or go to the bank? So
Right. And that can be very impactful, especially for those who only handle cash and don't have any credit history and can't do normal things like get a loan or like talk to a bank, like stuff like that. Because I remember when I was interning, there were like in Ghana, the farmers, because I worked at the World Cocoa Foundation, they're only getting cash. So, but now World Cocoa is like working with apps so that they can actually get their salary and they don't have to deal with like crime and robbers and having to deal with that and like sending their kids to school and all.
first of all, I want to say, how old are you, Isha?
17.
So, first of all, this is fascinating, right? When I was 17, I had no idea what was happening in the world. I grew up in India. I didn't even have an idea what was happening outside my small ecosystem. So, first of all, I have to say kudos to your generation who at the 17 is interning at these amazing organizations and learning about rest of the world. Um, Very smart generation. I'm just thinking what I was doing. Um, excuse me. Uh, I feel the cash economy, but it also helps government, right? It also helps government to really know who is generating uh, money in that economy, how it is getting generated, where are the right taxes or where are the subsidies to pay, because the money is not that much, right? So it does provide an idea of transparency into the economic system, which has in history has never really existed. And you talked about the students, like school, uh, really bottom of the pyramid, able to have that money and send their kids to school and have a generational impact around it. I think what another thing which really happens is it helps farmers. um, we have seen so many cases, and the farmers know, using the technology, which crop is going to be in demand in which region of the world, in which weather, and they actually plan accordingly to optimize the return, and then the saving account, and then different payment system. So we are talking about, though, very basic concept, which as a family we would talk at home, like let's save these $5 today and $10 today, and this could be used for this. But having that sort of money management tools at the time when you don't have much, and that can really impact your livelihood for a day, is an incredible technology revolution.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. And I think it's like great that fintech is helping and addressing these issues and helping people who are at the base of the pyramid so that they can make a better livelihood and just organize like their money better. And so clearly the stage is set for a lot of innovation in the space. What advice would you have for students like me who are interested in fintech?
Um, so I think fintech is a huge space, right? And I would say there is so much evolution happening in the space. Find your passion. Your passion could be a pure financial investment hedge fund market, right? Which is nothing wrong, guys. It's completely okay. um, then find places like who are revolutionizing the traditional hedge fund place by having places like Robinhood, right, which are democratizing the access to the fixed income financial markets or public equity markets, but at the same time, doing it in a way that you feel like you are working with impact. So you can choose that sort of a passion. You can choose Venmo and PayPal and Square Cash App sort of a passion. You can also go and say, I just want to continue to work in lending credit market. And there are a lot of evolutions happening there with payment solutions like Stripe happening. Um, at the same time, like the internship you did, there is a lot of fintech evolution which is happening, which is really supporting bottom of the pyramid. There's a company I invested long time back known as Tala, which is creating the first ever credit for people who don't even have a bank account by giving them 1 cent loan, and then based on their credibility of paying that, increasing the amount all the way to like $20, $25 over the next couple of months, and then creating that FICO score for them, in places like Africa, India, Latin America, where the concept doesn't exist. So fintech is huge. Find your passion. um, and everything. The great thing is all these companies, the irrespective of the people they are serving, are all multi-billion dollar companies. So you can create an amazing future out there.
Right. That is amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. This conversation was great. And I hope that I can also learn more about fintech as I go to college or etc. So thank you so much.
Isha, I have a question for you though. You are one step ahead of fintech. You have been playing with cryptocurrency, especially with Ether, right?
Right. A couple of years ago, my dad got me some Ethereum. So it was at first like, what is this? I did not understand. I was so young, but that kind of like sparked my interest. And I learned more about blockchain and cryptocurrencies, which ultimately led to my fascination with fintech.
Mm. And do you see cryptocurrency and blockchain being part of your future in your undergrad or your next internship a big way?
I think so. Like I even hear my classmates just talking about like I invested a little bit of this like Bitcoin or a little bit of Ethereum. So I think it definitely has scope and I think I would be interested in learning more about it in the future. Like similar to your class, like I would definitely love to take a class like that if I could.
No, absolutely. And I know your heart has always been into deep finance, technology, but also with impact associated with it. And I want to share there is, um, you will not believe that countries which has failing economies, not we are very fortunate to be in countries like US, Europe, India, which the economies are very strong. I can value the dollar bill I hold in my hand, that it's gonna pay for it. Places like Venezuela, Honduras, Nigeria, a lot of places like that which cannot. Cryptocurrency becomes the default economy. And then being in the space, and now a lot of technology is coming, like you have Bitcoin ATMs and you have like verified supply chain traceability. I feel like it's such a new, amazing world for students like you who very early on got adopted to it, that you can create the next unicorn, which is your passion overlap of crypto, fintech, and impact.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much for talking. This was a super interesting conversation, and I hope this is helpful to some other students who are maybe interested in this space.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Isha. It was a pleasure talking to you.
You too. Thank you. Bye.